2 years after we bought this house, we had some problems with our concrete driveway sagging and the walkway from our driveway toward our front porch sagging. And I started with Home Depot and Lowe's asking about how do you find people to fix your concrete. They suggested mud jacking. I contacted AAA at their recommendation. They said this AAA company does that kind of stuff. You might want to consider them. They're pretty good. So I contacted them. They came out. Howard at the time was the owner. He gave me an estimate, said when they'd be around to do the work. Showed up when he was scheduled to do the work. Was here about an hour and a half, got the work done. I watched while they did the entire process. When they left, the billing, the estimate was exactly as he said it was going to be. The concrete cleanup was really good. In other words, we didn't have any extra concrete or anything laying around because they don't use concrete, they use the mud. And the finished job was great. It's held up for 8 years. And therefore we decided when our front porch started to sag about 2.5 years ago that we needed to have another service. I thought immediately of AAA concrete lifting, but I thought, well, before I do that, I want to contact a couple of local mud jackers to get a sense of what they would think, because I knew the concrete that we had on our porch was going to be heavy. I wanted to know whether they in fact could take it on. Not that I didn't want to have AAA do it, but I wanted to give a couple other people an idea to get estimates because I wanted to have at least 3 estimates. I contacted Trevor, I contacted AAA Concrete Lifting and found out that Trevor was now the new owner, that Howard had retired, Trevor had taken over the business. He came out about 5 days after I talked with him, gave me an estimate. We were out of town, we were in California at the time, came back. He had an estimate ready for us, had a schedule for when the work would be done, and said, now your concrete lifting, your porch lifting, your surface of your porch lifting was going to be a difficult job, but he said, I think we can do it. He said, we'll do it if we can. If we encounter problems, we won't charge you, but we think we can do it. But he said, this is not a normal kind of lift for us. It's not like a garage floor. It's special because you have this retaining wall on the outside of your porch that we need to be concerned with. Bottom line was, they showed up on the day that they were scheduled to do it. They did the work that they said they were going to do. I watched them do it. There was a little bit of extra mud flooding around because our sidewalk just in front of our porch sags off to the left to the right side, and they had some seepage of mud back, but the sidewalk came up to level. The porch was back up 2.5 inches from where it originally started, where it had sagged. They didn't crack it, which was perfectly accepted by us. We thought that it might be able to do that job, but we weren't sure for sure. Trevor got it done correctly. Cleanup was nice. The mud was left in the yard, was flushed out a little bit. Actually, it's added fertilization to the grass. We're pleased with that. And so the job was really successful. I would suggest that anybody who has a driveway sagging, or for example, has a walkway sagging, or concrete in their garage sagging, or any other floor sagging, that they contact AAA Concrete Lifting. And the reason for that is when they show up with a big unit, a lot of extra torque, and they put a lot of pressure into the concrete. They raise it, they don't damage it. As you'll see, our retaining wall was not damaged. Our sidewalk has been leveled. It's a great project. AAA Concrete is very good. They do their job. They've been around a while. I'd recommend that you contact them.